I think that's what got cut off last time, but it just got brought back to mind, which I appreciate. Let's jump back into the conclusion of this case and this game for now. We might come back and purchase the future cases, since I know they were quite enjoyed, but I want to try some other games, get to one kind of summary game, and it looks like we will get to the beach in Mario Galaxy, but anyway, that's besides the point. Well, hopefully, I'm hoping I'll be able to continue this as a fun sort of hobby after work, but anyway, yeah, I found a job. Anyway, grrr. Oh my, keep your furry friend under control. I thought that was her, sorry. Grrr, I meant. Well, I do declare, my furry friend, as you put it, does have a name, Ms. Baker. Bingo, but I call him Bing. Bing Cherry. Well, I can't say I approve of the collar, but I hope that chain's a good one. At the risk of repeating myself, Ms. Potsby man, would you mind, Yes, I knew. Bing, go wait for me in the car, boy. The trunk's open. I am sure the good inspector will not be keeping me long. Orf, orf. Was that a seal or a dog? Sorry, I don't know. Now, whatever affairs we still have to discuss, Inspector, I trust we can do so quickly. I always go to the park with Bing around this time of day. Don't worry, Miss Potsby man. I'm fairly sure this will be the last time we meet. Ooh. So what exactly requires my attention now, may I ask? Surely by now. I assume you have finally concluded that it was that outlaw who murdered my husband. Not nicking Nix, nope. On the contrary, we are now quite certain Mr. Nix is completely innocent in this matter. If you'll cast your mind back to our previous conversation, we established that the victim was the victim stabbed from the front side or the back? I was pretty sure it was from the back. From the back. Oof. Bingus? Or Gambus? I don't know what's going on. Gambus is good, Bingus is bad. The victim was stabbed from behind without warning. He was caught completely unawares, off guard. Mr. Potsby had no idea what were coming. Noisy entrance. There's no way Nix could have done that if he came in the way you described. Completely exhausted. As I've already told you more than once, Jack was inclined to fall asleep while watching the television. Of course, we cannot deny the possibility that your husband was indeed asleep at the time. However, if that were truly the case, it would be at odds with something else that happened. In other words, what suggests the victim couldn't have been dozing when attacked? He was stabbed in the back, the window was smashed. I think it's the window was smashed, because that would have alerted him. The window was smashed. So that's Gambus, right? Okay. Because the window was shattered. You'd have to be deaf. A window breaking. All that glass breaking would have made a right din and no mistake. Even a log couldn't. Oh, sleeping like a log. Got it. No one could have slept through that. There's no way Mr. Potsby wouldn't have woken up. I do declare you are as slow as a snare sometimes, Miss Baker. Completely exhausted again. My husband was quite exhausted that day. Why, he was sleeping like a log. I think they might have. Alright, anyway. Even the clatter of the window breaking would surely not have roused him. Fast asleep. Well, there's not more to be said on that front then, I suppose. Uh-oh. As I already said, only when that outlaw drove his knife into my poor husband's back did he wake with a spine-chilling scream. And it was on hearing that scream that you ran out of the bathroom to see what was happening. That is correct. My sudden arrival scared the outlaw away before he could steal even a bitty bit. I know it was that thief they caught in the grounds. I see. as I already said. So that's the course of events as you describe it. I have never said anything to the contrary. So, if I may just recap. You were having a shower in the bathroom. I don't know where else you'd have a shower. When you heard the sound of glass shattering. Immediately after that, you heard Mr. Pottsby scream. That's what you're telling us happened, are you? It's also what you said in your statement. And nothing but it. Of course it is, because that is the truth, Inspector. Liar, liar. Plants for hire, SpongeBob fans? Then I would have to say you are a liar, Miss Pottsby, man. Well, a liar? Indeed, and there is a certain piece of evidence on the scene that will prove me right. Well, I am all ears, Mickey Mouse. If this evidence really exists, then I sure would like to see it. What evidence proves that Pottsby Man's statement is a lie? A door leading out of the flat, fingerprints belonging to the victim, his wife, and the warden were identified on the handle. Key was kept inside the flat. Not necessarily. A French window opening out onto the balcony, glass shards inside the flat prove it was broken from outside. Though locked prior to the incident, it is now open. Interesting. Shards of glass that exploded all over the flat when the window was smashed. Considerable force must have been used, throwing pieces on top of the body even. Pad of paper with several phone numbers scrawled upon it, all of which have proved to belong to various takeaway food establishments. No, it's not that one. I don't think it's that one. I think it's either broken glass. The door potentially... I don't think it's the door, because it doesn't really prove anything. Yeah, it doesn't really prove it. I'm leaning towards broken glass. Just because it shows that, like, maybe that was done after the killing happened. So I'm gonna... because he was already lying there. Let's see. Yeah. Excuse me, sorry I'm a little gassy. Super Mario Galaxy Bros a little gassy. What else is new, right? Undeniable proof. These bits of broken glass prove that you're lying to us, Miss Pottsby, man. Oh, that is hogwash. All these little bitty bits of glass prove nothing of the sort. Would you care to explain, Lucy? Ah, shoot. I think it's just accidentally I got a little excited. But I think he probably was just asking, what does the broken glass show? I think it's the timing of the stabbing. Because he would be stabbed, then the glass would be on top of him. Ooh, we're chipping away at undeniable proof again. You only have to look at the broken glass to see the order of events that led to Mr. Pottsby's death. What order of events? Yeah, we don't look at order doesn't matter. Junkie doesn't talk. The scream came last. You claim you heard the window smash first, and then your husband screamed. Right, but he would have actually screamed, then the broken. Gotcha. Glass on top, exactly, all topsy-turvy. Clever. Because, it could have been on the bottom, topsy-turvy. Okay, anyway. But if that were the case, what are all of these bits of glass, these bitty bits of glass, doing on top of the body, eh? Got you there. If your statement were true, the broken glass should be underneath the corpse. But they aren't, are they, Miss Pottsby, man? They're on top. Killing the victim, smashing the window, bang out of water. Okay. Which proves that the window was smashed after the victim was stabbed. Correct. So it would seem you have deliberately given a false statement. I have done no such thing. Well, you're getting a little sweaty there. Why? I have simply confused matters in my head. I am all torn up about the loss of my dear husband. This simple misunderstanding proves nothing. I forget. I retract my statement. I simply cannot remember if I heard the scream or the glass breaking first. A stab and smash. Okay. Please help me. Okay. Perhaps the outlaw came inside some other way and only smashed the window after killing Jack. Oh, you little weasel. What's this? Let's assume for a moment that you are indeed mistaken. That introduces a new complication. It does. Window locked, door locked. Indeed, because we know that the door and the window were both locked before the incident occurred. Was it Houdini? You gotta love this. If the culprit didn't break the window, how did he or she get into the flat? Good question. I am white as snow. Nothing to do with me. Why, I've no idea. Just what are you trying to say, Inspector? Well, Snow White, we're looking at the... Yeah, I'm trying to say it's simple. It's you silly goose. We can now be sure that the true perpetrator of this crime is you. It's gotta be her, right? Chase was the concierge. Keen bodybuilder. Nice and buff. Originally trying to exclusive nearby gym, he get violent and anger, it seems. Old lag and serial burglar known for swift getaways. He was dressed in black and caught near the block of flats. But she, Jack Paxley's wife, stunning beauty, she has already been widowed 3 times in the past. Was a very happy life off the resulting life insurance. But I mean, she's the only one who was in the flat. We got her. It were you, Miss Goldie Pottsby, man. At the time of the attack, the window and the door of the flat were locked. The only other way in were by smashing the window, but we know that happened after the victim died. No intruder. With no method of entry available, the only conclusion is that the culprit did not come in from outside. The culprit was inside. No, the person who did this was in the flat from the outside exactly. The only person who fits that bill, Ms. Pottsby man, is you. The culprit was you. Am I to understand that you are accusing me of murder because I was in my home the whole time? You ought to understand that. Then I must remind you of something of vital importance that you appear to have overlooked. Huh? Oh, what's that? Oh, just a little bitty thing called a murder weapon. A gaping hole. Where has it gone? I hear told that you've still not found it anywhere inside the apartment, which I never left. If I'm to be accused of this crime, why, I would just love to know where I'm supposed to have put it. I am innocent. Indeed, I confess to have been stumped by that conundrum. I am falsely accused. We all know the truth. Well, there you have it. You have not a shred of evidence that I killed my husband. Found it. However, we did eventually manage to locate the murder weapon. Uh-oh. Huh? I beg your pardon? Found it. Aye, that's right. We know exactly what you used to skewer your man. Aye, I do declare why. That's simply not possible. You didn't dispose of the murder weapon outside of the flat. No, it's been in there the entire time. You're starting to rile me, Inspector. Tell me where this murder weapon I'm supposed to have used is. Medium-sized domestic refrigerator, very little in the way of food is inside, stocked with larger cans of beer, a set of 3 knives stowed in a cupboard under the kitchen sink. Shards of glass explode over the flash and the window smashed. Considerable force must have been used, throwing pieces on top of the body even. Cause to contain the victim's clothes and those of his wife. Its contents appear to be in a complete jumble. I thought we'd established it was the clock. A regular toilet, apparently not regularly cleaned. It is extremely dirty. The antique-style grandfather clock with a large pendulum. The minute hand is slightly crooked. I'm pretty sure we established. I think that means we're right. Did we get her? Not yet. The murder weapon was hidden in the clock. What? Are you quite sure? Funny idea. Sure as eggs are eggs, aye. It were the minute hand of the clock that we used to kill Mr. Pottsby. Impossible. Why, that is hogwash. A man could never be killed with such a thing. Well, the shape of the hand matches the victim's wound perfectly. A perfect match. You haven't gotten long to wriggle your way out of this one. The clock's ticking. Nice one, nice one. Forensics are going over it with a fine-toothed comb as we speak. Fine-toothed comb? Speak of the devil. Hello? Ring, ring, ring. Hello? Oh, where'd she go? The shape of it? Well, it is almost... You admit it now? I don't think so. Do you, Inspector? There she is. Prof. What's the matter? The results from forensics. They found not on it no traces of blood whatsoever. Really? Ma, what a terrible shame. Oh, shoot, what did I do? Your trump card turned out to be a joker. Joker! Pennywise, joker. Pennywise. I do declare, I hate it when that happens. Waste of space. Sure you hate. Waste of time as expected. Wow, rude. No, I must have missed something. Prof? Can I assume we are finally on the same page now, Inspector? That outlaw Nix is responsible for my husband's death, and I am no longer under suspicion. If you could just fill out these forms for me with words to that effect. Forms? Jack's worth life insurance. Well, my husband's life insurance, I don't know, simply will not pay out without the proper paperwork, Ms. Baker. Have you got no shame at all? We're talking about a man's life. Why, you've no idea what you are talking about, Missy. Jack doted on me. True love. The Potsby fortune. He would turn in his grave if he thought his little pot of gold would not be mine after his death. Pots be mine. Pot of gold, mine. Pots be mine. Goldie pots be mine. How do you like that? How do you have the gold to say something like that? Oh, jeez. Killing for cash? Not a bad idea. Hey, Prof, are you alright? Uh-oh. Well, your motives are far, far darker than that, aren't they, Goldie? Don't get uppity with me now, Inspector. Is a change in the music, too? Oh, but you enjoy it, don't you? You kill for money, but it's not the cash you're after, it's the kick. What's the kick, isn't it? What are you going on about, Prof? What's got into you? Yeah, we got some creepy music here. I can just imagine it. That little smile creeping onto your lips as you prepared the murder weapon. Oh, she's getting sweaty. I will not fall into your petty trap, Inspector. Need I remind you that you still have not even found this murder weapon of which you speak? And we never will, because it no longer exists. Inspector, I do declare you have lost your mind. Are you suggesting the murder weapon just vanished into thin air? You'd be delighted if that's what we concluded, wouldn't you? But let me put it another way. The weapon that was used to stab Jack Potsby didn't exactly vanish. It melted. Drip, drip. Getting a little Twilight Zone music here. What is going on here? Thought we were done. But I'm glad we get a fun conclusion to this game for now. Hey, what? In a furnace or something? Oh, hang on. I think I get it now. I know what happened. Where did the murder weapon disappear to? An uninviting concrete balcony. The flight in question is on the first floor of ground level, but a determined intruder could gain entry to the premises this way. A very large kitchen pot in which it appears pasta was boiling at the time of the incident. Wardrobe. The closet contained the victim's clothes and those of his wife. Its contents appear to be in a complete jumble. A bath with a touch. Used for shield, no traces of the victim's blood inside. Indications of recent use. I'm gonna go with the only thing I can think of that would melt it would be the cooking pot. The murder weapon must have been melted in this pot. Oh yes, the weapon that killed Potsby disappeared in this very pot. Suspicious utensil. I have no idea what you were talking about. Al dente. I assure you I was simply making my husband nice and possible. Don't mock me, oh he's pissed. Nothing to eat off, nothing to eat with. Where's the cutlery? Where are the bowls? The pasta sauce? Pasta plain? Yuck, that's right. There's no sign of any preparation of a meal at all, just the pasta in this pot of boiling water. I had intended to prepare those things later, but I don't think so. Boiling hot, plan. Do they mean plain or plain? Oh, okay, never on the menu. Served up a kill. I don't think that pasta were ever meant for eating at all. No, the pasta was prepared for the sole purpose of the little disappearing act. Tell me by now you've figured out what the murder weapon was, Lucy. Oh, I'm with you now, Prof. The murder weapon was the now non-existent murder weapon, not the clock hands. Oh, it could have been a knife made of ice. That would be very clever. It's gotta be, because glass is not going to melt in a boiling pot. Kitchen knife's not going to melt. The only thing is if they could mean the second hand. But I think, yeah. We got her. Oh, baby. Get the good music on. The weapon used to stab Jack Pottsby to death with a knife made of ice. Not used, ice melting in a trace. It would have melted into not no time at all in a pot of boiling water like that one with the pasta in. Why, anyone with an ounce of horse sense can see this is just a fiction you have concocted. Even if there was a knife made of ice like you say, it's gone now, has it not? No dice, no weapon. My hands are clean, you can never prove I had such a weapon in my possession. Well, no, perhaps not, but, uh-oh. Come on, Layton. Ugh. Looks like he needs a shave or something. He's getting sweaty, Prof. Yes, we can. Pardon me, Inspector. Are you back to normal now, Prof? Sorry, Lucy. Yes, I'm fine now. Thank you. I don't know what that little spout was either. What are you two whispering about over there? We're discussing the ice knife. Ice climbers. True, ice melts. You are, of course, correct that the knife itself is no more. The mold remains. However, in order to make the knife in the first place, there was a mold, and that mold is still on the scene. I surely would like to see it. Lucy, do you know what was used? Pad of paper with several phone numbers. Okay, not the takeout. The creased scrap of card. The scrap of card could be it. The television. I don't think it's a television. Yeah, I'm thinking it could have been that, but why did she break the glass, though? That's the weird part. I'm thinking it was this, since it's damp, it's creased. And I do like plain pasta, by the way. I mean, not like more than saucy pasta, but... Oh. It was this damp piece of card that we used to mold the shape of the knife. Sharp creases. If you fold it back up along the creases, let's see what you get. Sharp knife. Oh, look, a perfect knife shape. Yes, you line the mold with cling film or the like, then filled it and put it in the freezer to make your knife. Shape of the mold, shape of the wound, a perfect match. We'll be able to match the shape of the mold to that of the victim's wound to be certain, of course. It's nothing more than a coincidence. Anyone can see that. We have more evidence against you. After you stabbed your husband, you used a towel to wipe the blood off the knife. Towel we found on the balcony. Yes, and once you were satisfied you'd removed all the blood, you put the icy weapon in the boiling water. Are you absolutely sure you removed every last trace? There will be something left. I'm sure I do not follow. In my experience, no one ever manages to remove all the traces of blood from a weapon. If you indeed dissolved the knife that killed your husband in boiling water, we will be able to positively identify the victim's blood when we examine the pot. But blood stains, ice melts away, the truth never dies. Why, you little... Lucy, have forensics go over the pot for us, will you? Straight away, Prof. I spoke with forensics. They're on the case already. Now we merely need to wait for the results. Confess. Are you ready to admit your crime now, Miss Pottsby-Mon? I have no intention of admitting to anything, Inspector. I have not stabbed, I have not killed, I have not melted. Like the Wicked Witch of the West. Even if he can prove that my husband was killed with a knife made of ice, it does not mean I did it. Oh no, when you've had it less. Give in, give over. I have had nothing, Ms. Baker, other than my innocence questioned most unjustly. I will walk free, like it or not. Unfortunately for you, there is no logical way in which you are not guilty. If you will cast your mind back, we showed there was no way into the flat when the incident took place. The door and windows were locked. In other words, only somebody who was already inside could have stabbed Mr. Pottsby. Oh, please. You admitted yourself that you did not leave the flat. In your own words, the apartment which I never left. No, I... Or is that another statement you would now like to retract? I must warn you that doing so is only likely to make things worse for you in the end, though. I demand to see my attorney. You cannot continue to question me in this way. Certainly. Lucy, make the necessary arrangements, please. Will do, Prof. Why to be accused? Because such a petty little thing. She put up quite a fight, eh? Yes, she did. I were in the right tis when the lab said they'd found not on that clock can, I can tell you. Haha, don't worry, Lucy, you weren't alone. It's a bit of a gamble as to whether they'll find any traces of blood in the pot of pasta as well. You're joking, aren't you? Pretty sure she's going to confess now, though. Pretty sure, eh? Alfendi. She's, admitted everything. What a relief. It seems she was after the man's life insurance. She told us as much when we were questioning her, would you believe? Oh, well, did you know this? We found out that Pottsby won a very large sum of money last year. That's when Ms. Mon came into his life. Hardly what you might call a coincidence. She were a real gold digger, eh? Well, it seems Pottsby was spending money like water. She was terrified he'd rack up as much debt as the insurance payout, so she had to murder him quickly. I see. So it was something of a rush job. She no doubt prepared better for her other spouses. So it's all done and dusted then? Fabulous. I must say, Al, you don't look very well. You're all right. Probably that Jekyll and Hyde moment you had's taken it out of you, eh, Prof? It's a bit of an exaggerated way of describing it, Lucy. But I do feel a little under the weather. I think I'll go home early if no one objects. Are you sure you'll be all right? It's nothing a bit of sleep won't cure, I'm sure. Can you close up the office when you leave? Consider it done. I hope he's all right. So it happened again, did it? Hey, do you know the influence about the Prof? Whatever it's all about. Whatever's all about it. Calm down, Lucy. I really don't know all that much about it. But you're safe as long as there's a criminal present. You don't hear it said that way every day, I think that's what you said. What I mean is, the other Al is only interested in criminals. He won't come to any harm. So he's got some kind of vendetta against all criminals or something. Actually, from what I've seen of him, I'd say it's quite the opposite. You can't help liking them. All the more so, the more atrocious they are. I don't like the sound of that. There's really no cause for alarm. Like I said, as long as there's a criminal present, you're perfectly safe. What happens if he shows up when it's just the two of us, though? If it were me, I'd rip out my drip and run like the wind. I think I'll come in my plimsolls tomorrow. Very nice. So we got a mystery about Layton himself. But thank you very much for watching. I appreciate all your support, seeing us through this. Hope you enjoyed it, especially once I started reading. But anyway, yeah, that was fun. Introduction into the world of Layton. Hope you're enjoying these YouTube videos, and hopefully we'll Super Mario Galaxy you later. Hopefully, I'm hoping to continue to do this, but I'm just glad I was able to record this one. Alright,